I'm a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner, and I help individuals understand and manage their mental health. Before I became the woman I am today, before the boundaries and the clarity, I was in a relationship with a narcissist for years. Until you've been in a relationship with a narcissist, it's really hard to understand just how deep the manipulation can go. In the beginning, he was everything that I hoped for. He was attentive, he was funny, he was charming, he was generous, and I felt seen. When you first meet a narcissist, they're going to mirror you, your energy, your interests, your dreams. They study you and they become exactly what you need in that moment. That's the love bombing phase. I missed a lot of the signs because I was holding on to the potential, the version of him that I met in the beginning. I believed that if I loved him enough, that if we both worked on it, then we could get back to where I thought we were. And that hope kept me stuck for years. The worst part about being in a relationship with a narcissist is that you don't realize how deeply they're manipulating you until you're already emotionally entangled. There were times that I knew things weren't right, like everything inside of me was screaming it, but then he would make me feel crazy for having these thoughts. There was one time he had really bad allergies. He's sneezing, his eyes are watering, nose is running. And I told him to take Benadryl. He said, "Oh no, that stuff gonna knock me out. I'll be asleep for 2 days. I ain't never taken Benadryl. I did that one time before and I learned my lesson." Fast forward to the weekend, we're in a long distance relationship. I didn't make it to town and I ended up calling him that night. He didn't answer. He called me back sometime in the afternoon the next day and he told me that he had been knocked out because he took Benadryl. Now I know it sounds small, but over time those lies start to stack up and you start to question your own reality. That's what gaslighting does. It erodes your sense of truth until you start to silence yourself in order to keep the peace. And he constantly accused me of things that he was doing, lying, cheating, being unfaithful. Every time I tried to create space to think, to heal, he made it out to be me being the problem or I was crazy. He would always tell me how I needed help and even offered to pay for my therapy sessions. He was never able to take accountability for anything. There was a time that I reacted to something that he was doing with another woman, and in the middle of an argument, I hit him 2 times. He used that excuse to beat me for months. And he would justify it by saying, "You started this, you hit me first." I apologized, I never hit him again, but the abuse continued to escalate. I realized it wasn't that I caused it, it's just that I hadn't seen it clearly. It wasn't this bad, but I can recall times long before I hit him, years before this incident, where he pulled my hair out from the root or he would choke me. I remember him accusing me of being with another man on one of his drunken nights and pushing me off the bed. And to everyone else, he seemed like a perfect man. He'd help my grandmother. He'd give my family money. He fixed things around the house. He bought drinks for everyone at the club. He took care of my kids. And he always made everybody laugh. So when I tried to express how broken I felt, people couldn't believe it. My kids would say, "This is the best man you ever had." So now I'm sitting here wondering, if everybody else loves him and I'm the only one hurt, maybe it is me. Maybe I'm the problem, right? I was drinking heavily every day just to cope. I drank to quiet the anxiety, the confusion, the pain of not knowing where he was or who he was with when I wasn't around. And my body carried the pain. My skin broke out, my hair thinned, my hormones were off, my sleep was non-existent. I went to the dermatologist, I saw an esthetician, I was taking oral medication, I received topical medications, but nothing worked because the root of the problem wasn't physical. It was everything that I was going through emotionally. The stress, the fear, the constant hypervigilance was eating me from the inside. So I decided to do dry January. I thought maybe the alcohol was what was making things so toxic between us. Sobriety didn't show me his truth, it showed me mine. I liked myself better sober. I could see the patterns clearly. I could feel when something wasn't right. Once I stopped numbing myself, I realized that man wasn't going to change. The more I healed, the more his behavior stood out in contrast to my peace. I saw that every woman he dealt with, the married one, the one who called to warn me, the ones that I had never met, were all a part of the same cycle. He wasn't searching for love. He was searching for validation, and no woman was ever going to be enough to feel what he needed to work on within himself. He never loved me. He loved control. He loved the way I cared for him, the way my family adored him, the way my children respected him. Those things fed his ego, but real love requires accountability. It requires empathy. Narcissists can mimic love, but they can't sustain it. Leaving the relationship was one of the hardest things I had ever done, not because I missed him, but because I had to grieve the version of myself that I lost in that relationship. I had to relearn how to trust my instincts, how to believe my own reality, how to sit with myself without needing to escape through alcohol or chaos. Today, I am 301 days sober. I'm celibate, but I'm dating again, just differently this time. I don't need validation, and I don't negotiate my peace. My boundaries are stronger, my mind is clear, my skin is glowing. And for the first time in my adult life, I feel safe inside my own body. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist, I want you to hear me clearly. It's not your fault that you stayed. You were manipulated. You were conditioned to doubt yourself. The moment you start trusting your inner voice again, that's where healing begins. The damage isn't in just what they do to you, it's how they train you to stop believing in yourself. The healing isn't about proving them wrong, it's about remembering who you are. My goal is to help you understand that mental health and relationships are deeply connected. You can rebuild trust in yourself after narcissistic abuse. Healing isn't just possible, it's powerful.